Men, listen up. This is important. When is it the time that I should get a divorce? This is a question that comes up a lot. They're talking about it right now on the call, and there's actually three guys talking about the different dynamics of it in different areas of it. One guy is asking if he should get a divorce. Another guy is talking about his divorce, and another guy is giving advice to both, and it just gets complex. Men, what is so important about filtering through this decision of whether or not you're going to go through a divorce, it isn't about your happiness. It isn't about your freedom. It isn't even about your manhood. It's that, is this smart for me, my family, my relationships that I have with everything, and am I willing to walk through this fire? Now, that being said, you shouldn't be afraid of it, but there's many options and complexities that go into this. One of the reasons also why I'm making this video is so many men come into our programs saying, hey, look, I don't know if I should get a divorce. My wife's having an affair, or I'm going through a divorce, or I'm having an affair, or whatever it is that's giving some instability to what's happening in their relationship. And they turn to us for help, and they get that sort of help. That is fundamentally fucking important. So guys, look, bottom line is if this is something that you're going through, you're about to go through, you're wondering about, join a men's group. I don't care if it's our men's group. You can find out the details down below. There's great benefits to it, but join a men's group and join one where you can be held accountable, not some Reddit forum or some forum where people are talking about stuff. You don't have to be yourself there, man. You can be anonymous in it. That is not right. Be in an area where you can be on calls with people face to face. You can call them privately. You can bounce stuff off because shit gets complex. Right now, what's happening is the actual situation is there's a guy who's going through a divorce and he's wondering about custody stuff. And another guy who has gone through his divorce about a year and a half ago, he's bringing up, holy shit, my ex's, boyfriend is starting to yell at my kids. He's starting to be a dick. How do I handle this? The man way of handling it is tell the guy, fuck you, man. I'm going to beat the shit out of you, blah, 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 blah. But this rocks the boat even more. How can I solve this in a way where shit isn't going to get set off? And they're talking about that. I don't want to give super specific advice on it. Actually, I'll give what the guy who's a little bit more down the road. He says, hey, man, never shut your kids down, but also learn how to talk about it. Never let your kids talk about your ex-wife. That's just my opinion. And that's why you need a men's group. There's no one answer to this specific question that this guy's going through. He's trying to find his answer to assert it and go for what is important. And when he doesn't know, he's going to take advice from other people and run with that. So when you're going through a divorce, or what gives you the true sign to do it, man, is if it's just not working. That is the one thing that I'll say. And that could happen in so many different ways. Maybe she's having an affair. Maybe she stepped on your toes morally. Maybe, is some of the guys in here, the girls want a divorce, but the man's like, hey, no, let's work this out. Let's go to counseling. She doesn't want it. Maybe he wants out, and the woman actually says, the wife says, hey, let's go to counseling. Let's work things out. And he doesn't want it. But the time to go through a divorce, because it is so taxing, it's expensive, and there's so many different things that come to it. And there's also another key to this fact, and it really depends on what your beliefs are. But again, it's a complex thing, and there's going to be even more complex problems once you get started on that route, is that where you're at in your life is, you need to realize, is this so unbearable? Can I not live with this anymore? And I know you might feel that in some way, but is it something that can pass? Because here's one of the things, couples that do stay together, when we interview couples or we work with different couples that have stayed together for long periods of time, will always inevitably have times where they were at each other's throats. They weren't having sex. They were sleeping in other beds. They were totally separated, or maybe even having affairs with other people that were long-term or really promiscuous or whatever it was, but they will have times where they are broken from each other. And somehow they make it through that part, whether it's 5 years or even 10 years, maybe it's just a year, maybe it's 6 months, but those are times of pain. For whatever reasons, they stay together. And man, they're always happy they did stay together and that it was so beneficial. And then they realize how they love each other and so on. And then there's stories where that doesn't happen. But I think so many times people jump the gun with, should I stay? Should I go? Right? I'm going to go. I'm out of here because at the biggest or the smallest moment of tension, or maybe a fairly large thing of tension, I can't hold on to it and I'm out. No more to death to us part or whatever. And I'm not trying to make a political statement about marriage or whatever, but man, when you got married, it was a commitment that was a big deal. Now I understand life changes, and life changes right away. And as soon as you make that commitment gets challenged in all sorts of ways where you probably back away from it. Marriage is such a symbol and all this other sort of stuff. And we look at it in this unrealistic way, but that's also not an excuse for you to jump the gun with your commitments. Just think about that. A lot of times if we hold on to it and we do work things out, man, some good things can happen. So if we do find it's unbearable for whatever reasons there are, you need to be around people. And one of the reasons why you need to be around people, because it doesn't matter how many podcasts you listen to, it doesn't matter how many books you read, it doesn't matter how many different points of information that you have, a support system that isn't fully there holding your hand, man, you are going to run through points in your life, I guarantee it, where it is then impossible, absolutely impossible for you to make a clear decision on what to do next. Whether that is child custody, whether that's the court system, whether that's the money you give, whether that's the alimony, whether it's how you're going to feel when she fucks somebody else in your bed or you fuck somebody in her bed, she blows up, whether, it's her friends fucking your car up or whatever weird shit that happens in these situations, there's going to be a time where you think you got it down and you know everything and you don't. And you have to be absolutely prepared for that to happen. This is absolute. And so it's so important to be around people that can openly talk to you about this, that are trying to better themselves. They're not just angry dudes that are judging a bunch of people. They are people that have been there, walked through that know what it's like, to have to bite your tongue minute after minute or hold on to a certain belief for, just hours upon hours, or maybe even a month, or not having any light at the end of the tunnel, but have some hope and faith in things that are going to change. You need people around for that because it just gets so confusing, much like this situation right now. My ex-wife's boyfriend is doing some asshole shit to my kids. What do? I want to fuck him up. That's not going to help. That's not the smart thing to do. Number one, that's probably not the best way to communicate. Number two, that can get you in trouble, And what is the best way to communicate? How do I communicate with my kids? And how can I find my answer of doing that? Because nothing is cookie cutter. There is no checklist. But there is a process that is universal and uniform for all of us that has to do with honoring ourselves, honoring what we believe in, and in this case, your family, and taking that next best step so that we can be proud of and walk empowered as men. So, guys, look. What constitutes you getting a divorce? Man, it's that it absolutely cannot work again. Or it's just something that you don't fucking want to do and are completely over. Meditate on that. Make sure you're making that right choice, because the wave of all this stuff that's going to happen, and that, hey, a lot of us have been through, the wave of stuff that's going to happen is going to test you in every way. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to make you a stronger man if you get through it in the right way. So, man, it's always good to step into the arena. It's always good to test who we are, and it's always good to challenge our best selves. But make sure we're doing it in the right way. Maybe a divorce may not be the answer. Maybe it is. But either way, we got your back. We got your support. Man, subscribe to our different videos. Check out our different playlists that we offer. And man, definitely interact with what we're doing here. It's very, very, very key. If you're listening to this on iTunes or Stitcher, definitely check out the YouTube channel. And in every video, there's a free stuff link down below the description, where you can download our free PDFs, get more podcasts, get classes, videos, different 7-day challenges that we put guys through on getting the best body or having the best mentality, getting your dating life in order, or all the different things that men try and work towards. But I can tell you right now, download that Primal Drive PDF, do it, and join the 7-day challenge attached to it, because it's going to fucking change your goddamn life, and it's all for free. All right. You guys have a good one. Daily Awesome. Steve Mayeda signing off. Ciao, guys.